Don't panic. You don't have to wash them. You don't have to clean them. Okay? Honestly, what do you feel when you see this? Tough day's work, possibly done the homework with the kids, then made the dinner, and the last thing you want in front of you is this. What does he see? Bubbles, play, the exact same dishes, the exact same sink, unfortunately. But there's one key difference. Responsibility. One of the greatest signs of growth in life is responsibility. I'd actually love to ask you, if you don't mind engaging with me slightly, what are some of the greatest responsibilities that you have in your life? Anyone care to start? Children, parenthood, a massive one. Any more? Elderly parents. So is a daughter. Any more? Your health. Pets. Give me one more. Grandkids, career. I could get about 5 in there, but I just want to go. Everything I heard there is a great privilege. A great privilege. Parenthood. Some people mentioned a career. Your pets. Certainly lucky to have you as their care owner. Parents, who you mentioned as caring for parents. Again, lucky to have you, and vice versa. Says a lot of how you were raised. But for me, there's one ingredient that can have a drastic impact on these responsibilities. One we've heard already today. Perfectionism. Perfectionism can quickly change responsibility into over-responsibility. And that was me. I loved the fact, as I grew older, that responsibilities grew. I wanted to be captain of the football team and was lucky enough to be so. I wanted to be a school teacher and was lucky enough to be so. I wanted to be a father one day and was lucky enough to be so. But perfectionism had other ideas. For it wasn't good enough just to be a brilliant teacher. I had to be the very best. Every kid had to learn everything in every lesson. It wasn't good enough to be a captain. I had to be a captain who would make no mistakes no matter what game took place. I wasn't good enough to be a loving son. I had to make sure anything that was wrong in my family, that I was there at an instant to fix it. I know the best thing about perfectionism to others, people can't get enough of you. When they know you set your standards so high, everyone wants a piece of you. So a typical day for me was making sure I was the first teacher in school, doing my paperwork before the kids landed in, spending my break time, ensuring that lessons were bespoke to every pupil. After school, staying longer to take every class going, whether I knew drama or not. I was going to take a drama club to help out so the kids had something extra. I was then going to my own club, and not just playing, but coaching 2 teams. Sure, he's a primary school teacher, he'd be great with kids, and with no one to take that team. Muggins here, hands straight up, absolutely. And you know what the best thing was? The praise you got for that. The kick, the hit you got from that. But all of a sudden, something has to give. For me, that was burnout at the age of 29. And it was a very harsh reality. I went from being the go-to in my family, in my school, in my club, in my community, to someone who was so anxious that he wouldn't leave the house. Someone who was so low at a point, at a sense of complete loss. The go-to was now the person hiding away and ashamed. And it's taken me a guts of 10 years to truly appreciate just what impact perfectionism had on what should have been privileged responsibilities. because of the over-responsibility I put on my own shoulders. No one's immune to this. We're constantly surrounded by what we should look like, what the perfect body, perfect facial features should look like. And this is starting from the youngest of age groups. Every time you're on social media, it seems to be a reminder of what you don't have, and everyone else around you seems to have it sorted, confounding your own self-doubts and thoughts of pressure. Images, posts, are sometimes validated by the number of likes or hearts they receive, and the impact that someone makes in the world, or truly how much they're looked up to, is based on the number of followers that they have. What is the perfect number of followers? What is the perfect number of likes? But I'm not here to give off. I'm here to show you what I've learned along the way. What's helped dispel perfectionism. What's helped this balloon to come down gently instead of that burst that scared you so. You often hear the saying, reach for the stars. And I'm not sure about you, but I've yet to see someone grab a hold of it. And I know people try, but I'm yet to see someone with their hands burning grabbing hold of it. And in life in general, there is that big pressure to find that end game and find it now. Reach for the stars. That star's right there. Go grab it. I much prefer to reach for the stairs, okay? Which is slightly more attainable. Step by step. Instead of constantly feeling that everyone else has found that end goal, they've found their star. Life is day by day. Life is step by step. Life is experience after experience. Yet we somehow sell this end dream as a constant that's supposedly happening all around us every day. I've learned the hard way that you can't be everything to everyone. But by God, you can be something special to someone, and especially those who matter most to you. Your environment can really free you. When that perfectionism is lifted and you allow space for imperfectionism, space to grow, space for fault, space for challenge, you can feel so much lighter. You may even be that light that your son achieves the impossible and lifting his daddy, who's double his weight. And always find time for the bubbles. Make time in this helter-skelter, pressurized world that seems so squeezing of time to make a Santa face on your son in his bath. Looking back, I often thought that it was only because I hit rock bottom at a point that I could then look upwards, that I found a place where there was nothing more. Unfortunately, as I'm sure a number of you know, some people stay at rock bottom and find another level below. Let's find hope. It's not fighting rock bottom, it's fighting hope. And I live my life by the word creid, the Irish language word for belief. Believing that these challenges happen for a reason. That your journey is the perfect journey to imperfection. They make you who you are. And as part of that journey, you may have noticed someone sneak in during the break. There's a little bag, looks like wedding favours, on each table. And in those bags have placed what some may deem an imperfect shell, with a chip, a crack here and there, for every one of you. You may want to use it yourself at a time when things just aren't going as perfectly as you dreamt or thought they should be. You may want to share it with someone else who you feel could really do with it. And they may be able to rub that during a time they need to feel that sense of hope and believe that things won't always be like this. I'd love you to join me in shouting that word I live by. Everyone's going to say an Irish word here now that I believe. And that word's creid, on 3. 1, 2, 3. Creid! Thank you.